The oppressive heat of summer clung to the walls of the small two-story building, our family business engaged in the demolition trade. It was on the day of my 35th birthday, a day that should have been filled with celebration, that I found myself summoned to the president's office. The president, ironically, was none other than my mother. As I entered the room, the brilliant sunlight streaming through the windows seemed to intensify her stern gaze. Turning her beautiful profile towards me, she dropped a bombshell that shattered the illusion of family loyalty. "I've decided to hand the company over to your sister. You're dismissed as of today," she declared, her words cutting through the air with a cold finality that left me numb. The enchanting melody of birdsong outside seemed to mock the dissonance within the room. "Wait, what? Why, Mom?" I stammered, my voice betraying a mix of confusion and disbelief. The mechanical click of the door closing behind me was the punctuation to her shocking announcement. As the realization set in, I struggled to comprehend the gravity of her words. "You're fired. We don't need ugliness around here. Be gone by the end of the month," she reiterated, her voice devoid of any warmth. My mind raced, trying to fathom the abruptness of her decision. "Mom, I've dedicated years to this business. Why would you do this to me?" I questioned, desperation seeping into my words. With an exasperated sigh, she turned her gaze towards me, her eyes carrying a mix of irritation and impatience. "Mary, it's about time we brought in fresh energy. Lucy has what it takes, and frankly, we can't afford to keep carrying dead weight," she replied dismissively. Dead weight. The words hung in the air like a heavy fog, obscuring any sense of reason. "But I've given everything to this business. I've worked hard, Mom," I pleaded. "Times change, Mary. You should have seen this coming," she retorted, the finality in her tone leaving no room for argument. I closed the door behind me, the sound echoing in the now empty office. Outside, the birds continued their oblivious serenade, unaware of the shattered bonds that once held this family together. As the oppressive heat of summer lingered, the echoes of betrayal still reverberated within me. Memories of my childhood painted a vivid picture of favoritism that had seeped into every facet of our family life. In the quiet moments that followed my expulsion from the family business, I found myself retracing the steps of my past, searching for the origins of the deep-seated favoritism that had always favored my younger sister, Lucy. "Lucy, Mom got me these new clothes. Aren't they amazing?" I overheard Lucy's excited chatter as a child. I glanced at my own hand-me-downs, worn and threadbare, dismissed with a casual, "They're good enough for you." The disparity in attention became a painful routine. Lucy received toys and affection, while I learned to find solace in the shadows, where the echoes of my mother's indifference couldn't reach. "Why does Mom always give Lucy everything?" I questioned my aunt, hoping for some understanding. Her eyes softened with sympathy. "Your mother is a proud woman, Mary. When your father left, she couldn't bear the thought of losing him to someone less attractive, someone like herself. Lucy resembles what your father left for." The weight of those words hit me like a ton of bricks. My entire existence, it seemed, was a constant reminder of a man who had abandoned our family. Lucy, with her likeness to the woman who had taken him away, basked in the glory that should have been mine as well. As the years passed, the favoritism persisted. Lucy's every win was indulged, while my achievements were met with indifferent glances. Even when I handed over a report with straight A's, my mother merely glanced at it, as if my efforts were inconsequential. "I don't understand, Aunt. Why does she treat Lucy so differently?" I questioned my aunt once again, seeking solace in the only family member who seemed to understand. "Your mother took over the family business when your father left. Her beauty played a significant role in attracting and retaining clients. Lucy, in some twisted way, is a constant reminder of that," my aunt explained, a hint of bitterness in her tone. The realization struck me like a revelation. Lucy wasn't just the favorite, she was a living embodiment of the past my mother clung to. As I delved deeper into the complexities of our family dynamics, the roots of favoritism became clearer, entangled with the pain of abandonment and a desperate need for validation. The stifling heat of summer continued to cast its shadow over my life, now tainted by the unfair treatment I endured at the family business. The abrupt dismissal from my position left me grappling with a sense of betrayal, both familial and professional. Lucy, now the favored heir to the family business throne, sauntered into the executive director role without breaking a sweat. The small two-story building echoed with the silent protests of my contributions, overlooked and undervalued. "Lucy, sweetheart, this is your new office. I'm sure you'll do wonders," my mother's voice, dripping with pride, echoed through the narrow hallways. I couldn't help but contrast it with the indifference that accompanied my departure. The financial blow came swiftly. My salary slashed to accommodate Lucy's ascent. "It's only fair, Mary. We need to invest in fresh talent," my mother justified, her words a cruel echo of the favoritism that had plagued our family for years. "You're cutting my salary for her?" I questioned, disbelief and anger bubbling beneath the surface. My mother's gaze met mine with an unsettling calmness. "She's the future of this business. We can't afford to carry dead weight. Adapt or move on," she declared, a steely resolve in her eyes. The weight of the decision bore down on me, the financial strain pulling me deeper into a maelstrom of frustration. "But I've given everything to this business. I've sacrificed so much," I pleaded, desperation lacing my voice. "Times change, Mary. The company needs a new face," my mother replied dismissively, leaving me to grapple with the consequences of being undervalued, not just as a daughter, but as an integral part of the family business. As Lucy settled into her new role, I found myself relegated to the periphery, my contributions fading into the background. The burden of financial strain grew heavier, a constant reminder of the unfair treatment I endured. The family business, once a source of pride, now echoed with the hollow sounds of favoritism, leaving me to navigate the repercussions of familial betrayal in a world that no longer felt like home. The echoes of betrayal lingered, weaving into the fabric of our family dynamics. Lucy's incompetence and dissatisfaction became the catalyst for my abrupt dismissal, a culmination of years of favoritism that had poisoned the core of our relationships. In the dimly lit kitchen of our shared family home, I found solace in the presence of my aunt, the only ally in a sea of unreliable family dynamics. "Mary, you've given your best, but sometimes you have to cut ties to save yourself," she advised, her eyes reflecting a mix of sympathy and resignation. "But it's family, Aunt. How can I just walk away?" I questioned, torn between the loyalty ingrained in me and the reality of a family that no longer felt like a sanctuary. Lucy, now comfortably settled into her executive director role, expressed her discontent behind the scenes. "I don't get why everyone still asks Mary for help. I'm the boss now," she complained, her voice a mix of entitlement and frustration. I'd overheard this snippet of conversation, a stark reminder that familial bonds were now marred by resentment and incompetence. I confronted Lucy, hoping to bridge the growing chasm between us. "Lucy, if you need help, just ask. We can work together," I suggested, extending an olive branch. Her response was dismissive. "I don't need your help. I got this." The tension between us deepened, revealing the fractures in our family dynamics that ran far deeper than the surface-level dismissal from the family business. My aunt, sensing the toxic undercurrents, pulled me aside. "Mary, sometimes it's better to let go of what's toxic, even if it's family. Find a place where your skills are valued," she urged, her words resonating with a painful truth. As Lucy's dissatisfaction intensified, my aunt revealed a piece of unsettling information. "Lucy doesn't like that everyone assumes she's okay because they can always ask you for help," she confessed, the complexity of our family dynamics unraveling. "But Lucy consistently delivers sloppy work, Aunt. People only stopped asking because she can't handle the responsibilities," I argued, frustration and disbelief coloring my words. "That's true, but she sees you as a nuisance," my aunt acknowledged, her eyes reflecting a sadness that mirrored my own. The realization hit me. Not only was I expendable in the eyes of my mother, but I had also become an inconvenience to the very sister I had tried to support. The unreliability of our family dynamics unfolded, leaving me to grapple with the unsettling truth that even familial bonds could crumble under the weight of favoritism and resentment. The relentless heat of summer bore witness to a twist of fate as the consequences of familial betrayal and financial mismanagement unraveled. A year had passed since I severed ties with the family business, and the once thriving enterprise now stood in shambles. I, who had built a new life in the aftermath of familial betrayal, found myself unexpectedly crossing paths with my mother. The small two-story building, once bustling with the activities of our family business, now echoed with desperation and regret. "Mary, please come back. The company is falling apart without you," my mother pleaded, a tone of desperation coloring her voice. I met her gaze, the wounds of betrayal still fresh. "Why should I return, Mom? After everything you did?" I questioned, the bitterness seeping into my words. "We need you. Lucy can't handle it, and the business is drowning," she confessed, a rare vulnerability in her eyes. A sardonic smile crossed my face. "And what about when I needed you? When you handed the company to Lucy and fired me based on my appearance? Where was the concern then?" The words hung in the air, a bitter reminder of the past. A public confrontation ensued as I exposed the incompetence and financial mismanagement that had led to the downfall of the family business. "Lucy can't handle the responsibilities, and you chose to ignore it. Now we're all paying the price," I asserted, the weight of truth settling into the air. The family faced bankruptcy, a harsh consequence of their actions. "You can't just ignore reality, Mom. Favoring Lucy over me has cost us everything," I declared, the frustration and anger simmering beneath the surface. My mother, now facing the repercussions of her decisions, clung to a semblance of pride. "We'll find a way to bounce back. It's just a rough patch," she insisted, a feeble attempt to salvage the remnants of a broken empire. A crowd gathered around us, intrigued by the unfolding drama. Lucy's voice cut through the murmurs. "Now we won't have to see that annoying face anymore," she scoffed, unaware that her incompetence had been laid bare for all to witness. As the truth spread like wildfire, the collective glares from the onlookers intensified. The company went bankrupt, and my mother and sister, stripped of their income, faced the harsh reality of their actions. A week later, a certain sense of poetic justice prevailed. Finished with paperwork for a new venture, I checked my phone to find numerous missed calls from my mother. Ignoring the calls, I couldn't help but revel in a twisted satisfaction. The tables had turned, and the architects of my betrayal were now facing the consequences of their own actions. In the aftermath of the family business's collapse, I found myself revisiting the ghosts of our shared history. The scorching summer days seemed to magnify the echoes of betrayal, leading me to confront the painful truths that had shaped our lives. As I delved into the past, seeking understanding and closure, I discovered the roots of my mother's actions. The pain of my father's departure had driven her to favor Lucy, an embodiment of the woman he had left her for. The revelation struck me like a heavy blow, unraveling the complexities that had governed our family dynamics. Conversations with my aunt, who had long served as a silent witness to our family's struggles, unveiled the layers of deception. "Your mother is a proud woman, Mary. The scars of your father's departure ran deep, and Lucy became a substitute for the validation she lost," my aunt explained, her words laced with a bitter acknowledgement of the past. "But why treat me like an outsider? Why let that pain dictate our family's fate?" I questioned, grappling with a mix of emotions. She couldn't bear to lose again. In her mind, favoring Lucy was a way to assert control, a shield against the vulnerabilities of the past. My aunt elaborated, a tinge of sympathy in her gaze. The confrontation with my mother was inevitable, a reckoning that had been a long time coming. In the fading light of a summer evening, I found myself standing face to face with the woman who had shaped my existence. "Why, Mom? Why favor Lucy over me? Is my existence a constant reminder of Dad leaving?" I demanded, the words heavy with the weight of years of unanswered questions. Her eyes, haunted by regret, met mine. "I was scared, Mary, scared of losing again. Lucy became my way of holding on to what was left of our family," she confessed, vulnerability seeping into her voice. The confrontation, though cathartic, left me with a bittersweet realization. The scars of the past, while unveiled, couldn't undo the damage that had been done. As I walked away from the remnants of our family history, a sense of closure mingled with the lingering ache of wounds that time could never fully heal. "You deserve better, Mary. Don't let the past define your future," my aunt's words lingered in the air, a whispered promise of a life beyond the shadows of familial betrayal. In the quiet solitude of the summer night, I grappled with the complex tapestry of our shared history. Confronting the past was both a painful unraveling and a necessary step toward forging a new path, unburdened by the weight of familial expectations. Amidst the ruins of familial betrayal, I embarked on the journey of rebuilding my life. The oppressive summer heat slowly gave way to the promise of a fresh start, and I embraced the opportunity to carve a path that belonged solely to me. Leaving behind the wreckage of the family business, I found solace in a new job, one that valued my skills and acknowledged my worth. The small two-story building that once symbolized confinement transformed into a beacon of independence. As I settled into my new routine, I reveled in the autonomy that had long eluded me. The echoes of favoritism and past grievances gradually faded, replaced by a newfound sense of purpose. "Mary, you've really turned things around. We're lucky to have you on the team," my new boss commended, a stark contrast to the dismissive tone that had accompanied my departure from the family business. The journey towards self-discovery led me to a realization. I was more than the sum of past betrayals. The scars of favoritism, financial strain, and familial dynamics had shaped me, but they no longer defined the woman I was becoming. A chance encounter with an old friend, now a colleague in my new workplace, added a touch of serendipity to my journey. "Mary, you seem happier. Whatever you're doing, keep it up," she remarked, unaware of the battles I had fought to reach this point. In the quiet moments of reflection, I discovered the strength to forgive, not for them, but for myself. The burdens of the past were gradually replaced by the liberating weightlessness of a future untethered to the expectations of unreliable family dynamics. The decision to embrace a new life brought with it a sense of fulfillment that had long been absent. "I never thought I'd see you smile like this, Mary," my aunt observed, a warmth in her eyes that mirrored my own contentment. As I navigated the intricacies of my newfound independence, I understood that building a new life wasn't about erasing the past, but about redefining my narrative. The small two-story building that once confined me became a stepping stone towards a future where my worth was determined by my abilities, not by the caprices of favoritism. In the glow of a summer sunset, I found myself savoring the sweet taste of liberation. The wounds of betrayal had become scars, a testament to resilience, and the promise of a new life unfolded like a fresh chapter waiting to be written. As the summer days began to wane, I found myself immersed in a healing journey, a conscious effort to mend the wounds of betrayal and forge a future unburdened by the shackles of the past. In the quiet corners of self-reflection, I confronted the lingering scars and allowed the healing process to unfold. The oppressive heat gave way to a gentle breeze, mirroring the gradual easing of the weight that had long plagued my shoulders. "You've come a long way, Mary. Healing takes time, but look at the strength you've discovered within yourself," my therapist remarked, a guiding presence in the tumultuous sea of emotions. The healing journey extended beyond the confines of the therapist's office. In a chance encounter with an old friend, the conversation took an unexpected turn. "Mary, I heard about your family. I'm sorry for everything you went through," she offered, her words a balm to the residual ache that lingered. "Thank you. It's been a journey, but I'm finding my way," I responded, a newfound sense of resilience infusing my words. Navigating the intricacies of forgiveness became an essential part of the healing process. A phone call from my aunt, a character witness to the familial turmoil, brought forth an unexpected reconciliation. "Mary, forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you. Release the anger and let yourself be free," she advised, the wisdom in her words resonating deeply. In a symbolic gesture of closure, I revisited the remnants of the family business. The small two-story building, once a symbol of confinement, now stood as a testament to the resilience that defined my healing journey. A poignant conversation with my therapist unveiled the depths of my transformation. It's not about erasing the past, but rewriting your narrative. Your strength lies in reclaiming your story, she affirmed, the words echoing with a profound truth. The healing journey extended to mending fractured relationships. A tentative conversation with my mother opened a door to understanding. "I never meant to hurt you, Mary. I see now how my actions affected you," she confessed, vulnerability softening the lines on her face. "I appreciate that, Mom." This journey is about healing for both of us. I acknowledged, the recognition of shared pain fostering a fragile bridge between us. In the final moments of the healing journey, I found myself standing at the threshold of a new beginning. "You're a different person now, Mary. Embrace the strength you found within," my therapist encouraged, a gentle smile accompanying the parting words. As summer bid its farewell, I embraced the healing journey, a chapter that concluded not with the erasure of the past, but with the empowerment to shape a future defined by resilience, forgiveness, and the promise of self-discovery.